So I'm just doing a quick follow-up on the blog that I posted earlier this week. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of all the present stuff going on here, but I want to talk mostly about the boat and why I'm going about doing it this way. And sometimes if people are watching someone's body language and they can hear in the tone of their voice, you can see that they're being genuine about it. It's just not some, bullshit crap. No, this is real. I have a real scenario that's playing out here that's been troubling me for some time. Of course, life has changed, so I moved back to Pennsylvania to be closer to family. I have a better support network here with family being right here in the same town. I'm trying to stay in Muncie on a more permanent basis. My folks are getting close to retirement age. I've got nieces and nephews I hadn't seen, was missing out on entirely, and I'm also making reconnections with people that I haven't seen in a long, long time. Some of them since high school, and some of them are also relatives I haven't seen in a long time. So it's nice to be back, in familiar territory and reconnecting with folks I've have missed for a very long time. I lived outside of Pennsylvania for the better part of 25 years. So, right out of high school, I was in the Navy. I was in boot camp, and I spent 10 years on active duty. And in the time that I've been away from home as an adult, I've probably moved in excess of 20 times in those 25 years. Because of the military, because of being a renter, just living in Washington State. There's just not a lot of stability in renting. So I'm, and of course, because you move from one place to the next, it's a rat race because you're losing money on deposits and stuff, and it's expensive. So I got tired of doing that, and I've even lost a lot of things in moves. Like I've had to give away furniture. I've had to, start over again, like several times. I'm tired of doing that. And with the sailboat, that was kind of like my way of saying, screw the world, I'm going to go do my own thing, be off grid. And it worked for a little while. But sometimes life calls you back to the shore, and you have to kind of go about doing some other things and reprioritizing. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment, is I'm reprioritizing and taking a scenario where the cart's been put before the horse and switching it back around in the right order, so now things can move forward. Well, with Patreon, I'm looking at how can I make Patreon work for me so that I can tie up loose ends in Washington State surrounding my sailboat. Very simple solution. I need to raise, $15,000, maybe $20,000. It would make me whole, for one, and be able to continue doing the other projects I have doing in Pennsylvania currently, as well as the things I mentioned in my blog. In the meantime, I could, once I get all the loose ends tied up with the boat, and in Washington State where I can make a clean break, and I can then take the boat and donate it to the Sea Scouts, and the Sea Scouts can do whatever they need with it. Sea Scouts is an organization. It's kind of like the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. It teaches kids how to safely navigate boats in the water. So you have water safety courses, sailing courses, power boating courses, all kinds of cool stuff that they do, but a lot of it's centered around sailboats. And it'd be nice for them to have a nice big cruiser, especially for the young adults, because they can use it to go out on camping excursions in groups, or they can even, if they don't want to use the boat, they can certainly turn around and fix it up, clean it up, whatever they want to do, and then resell it to another sailor who can appreciate the boat for what it is, and take that money and put it towards the equipment they already currently have. So this is what the Sea Scouts will do with a boat donation, especially of this kind of boat. So I'm going to close the sailing chapter in my life for a little while until I get a little bit more established here in Pennsylvania in a more permanent residence. And then at that point I'll probably get a trailer sailor, because we have lakes around here. There's all kinds of places where I can get a small sailboat in the water. I've seen some sailboats around the area on trailers in people's yards, so Yeah, it's possible. But I'm not going to worry about that for a while because, I got my whole life ahead of me. So I'm not really worried about that. I'm more worried about getting the priorities straightened out. So if I go back to Washington and I'd have to sit on the boat until it sold, and I can't do that and keep my life going here in Pennsylvania at the same time. It's too complicated that way. I can't afford to just list it through a broker because it's expensive to do that, for one. And this way, if I just raise money through Patreon, I'm taking care of a whole lot of things all at once. And it's a lot more efficient use of the money. It's a lot more efficient use of my time. And it actually is a win-win, I think, for everybody. Because the Sea Scouts get something out of it. I get something out of it. I'm made whole. And, of course, people who make their pledges on Patreon, they get something out of it, too. Because they get the pleasure of knowing that they've helped someone out. And they've set into motion a series of good karma. So that's the whole point of this. So you only have to make one pledge, or you can make as many pledges as you want. It can be for any amount you want it to be. It could be for $1. It could be $1,000. It could be any number of times you want. The sooner the better, so that we can get this straightened out. I would like to be able to raise the money in the next month or two. So that before the bad weather sets in for the rainy season, I can get out there, I can ship stuff back, and I can be moved off the boat and have everything taken care of so that the Sea Scouts can come take possession and then haul it where they need it to go. So that is basically the follow-up for the blog. If you have any questions, you can respond in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And again, it's all about trying to keep the good karma going from one person to the next. You help me, I help them, they help lots of other people, and it just keeps on going from there. It's amazing how one person can affect the lives of so many people. And with the aid of social media, it's possible to do something positive for once, instead of, BSing about Scaramucci or God only knows what else is going on in the news. I haven't bothered watching it today. So let's try to keep the karma wheel going and spinning in the right direction, and help a sailor out. Hey, it is what it is. I was really hoping for, and I actually was even counting on having some things happen here in the last year since I've been back as far as the VA is concerned, and instead I'm kind of back to square one again. I've been bashing my head against a brick wall with those people, and I'm not sure I'm going to deal with that. But that's a blog for another day. Maybe a different GoFundMe type thing. Who knows? Might need money for a lawyer on retainer. How about that? Yeah, gosh, the VA is like one of the most infernal organizations I've ever had to deal with besides the Navy itself, I swear. So, anyway, that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below, or you can shoot me a message and I'll answer you back. Thanks for taking the time to listen. I look forward to hearing from you, and fair winds and following seas.